For 40 years, the United States government watched men die from a curable disease. On purpose. They didn't tell them. They didn't treat them. They just watched. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is confirmed by the CDC and the National Archives. This is the Tuskegee Syphilis Study. Let's go back to 1932. The Great Depression has gutted the rural South. In Macon County, Alabama, most black sharecroppers have never seen a doctor in their lives. Syphilis is everywhere. There is no cheap cure yet. Penicillin doesn't exist as a treatment. The U.S. Public Health Service sees an opportunity, not to help, to study. They recruit 600 black men. 399 already have syphilis. 201 do not. None of them are told what disease they actually have. They're told they're being treated for bad blood, a vague local term that covered everything from anemia to fatigue. They're promised free medical care, free meals, and burial insurance. For poor men in Alabama in 1932, that's a powerful offer. It's also a lie. The real goal was never treatment. The real goal was to watch syphilis destroy the human body stage by stage until death. Researchers wanted full autopsies, so they dangled burial money to guarantee families would agree. For years, the men got placebos, aspirin, mineral supplements, things that did nothing for syphilis. Meanwhile, doctors tracked the disease as it spread to organs, to bones, to brains. Some men went blind, some went insane, some infected their wives, some passed it to children born during the study. Then, in the 1940s, penicillin arrived, a real cure, cheap, fast, effective. Doctors across the country started using it everywhere, but not in this study. The researchers actively withheld it. They wanted their data. They wanted to see the disease run its full course to the end. So they kept the men in the dark for another 25 years. Local doctors were told not to treat these men if they showed up elsewhere. The study had a list. If your name was on it, you didn't get penicillin, even when the cure was sitting right there. This went on through World War II, through Korea, through the Civil Rights Movement, through the moon landing. The study didn't end because someone in charge had a change of heart. It ended because someone leaked it. In 1972, a Public Health Service employee named Peter Buxton went to the press. He'd raised concerns internally for years and been ignored. So he gave the story to a reporter named Gene Heller at the Associated Press. On July 25, 1972, the story broke nationwide. The public reaction was immediate outrage. A Senate panel was formed. An investigation followed. By then, 28 men had died directly from syphilis. 100 more had died from related complications. 40 wives had been infected. 19 children had been born with congenital syphilis. The study was shut down in 1972, 40 years after it began. The men who were still alive finally got treatment, decades too late for most of the damage already done. A class action lawsuit followed. The government settled for $10 million. Survivors and families received compensation, along with promises of free medical care for the men, their wives, and their children. But it took 25 more years for the government to formally apologize. In 1997, President Bill Clinton stood in the White House and apologized to the 8 remaining survivors in person. He called what happened deeply, profoundly wrong. He said the government had done something that was clearly racist. The Tuskegee study became one of the biggest reasons modern medical ethics rules exist today. Informed consent, the right to know what's actually being done to your body. Institutional review boards that approve human research before it happens. All of it traces back, in part, to this case. But rules on paper don't undo 40 years of damage. They don't undo the distrust this study planted in black communities toward doctors and medicine, a distrust that researchers still talk about today, generations later. This wasn't a foreign enemy. It wasn't a rogue scientist acting alone. It was the United States government, operating for 4 decades, with full knowledge of what penicillin could do, choosing silence instead. So here's the question worth sitting with. If a government can justify watching its own citizens suffer in the name of research and keep that secret for 40 years, what else might be happening right now that we simply haven't found out about yet?